I'm so glad you made it. Yo, thank you for joining me on this video today. I noticed though, I didn't see you in my last few videos. I noticed that your comment wasn't there. So maybe you want to take some time, check out the page, you know, hit the channel button down low and just follow that. Make sure you didn't miss any videos that you'd be interested in, because you know I'll be putting that fire, putting that time into that content, man, for you guys. And also, if you guys want to support me, make sure you follow me, twitch.tv/dbible24. Let's get to the video. What's going on? Back plugged in the game. What your boy, the Prophet? Hey, yo, man, it's time for another BBS tier list video. And listen, what I'm going to do is, after we go ahead and get this mine tier list out, I'm going to go ahead and do the PvP tier list. I actually may wait until we get news about this next upcoming end of month banner, so we'll see there. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get right into the mine tier list, so you know we're about to get it popping. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Let's get it lit. Trap my shit. They left a nigga down bad, I had to come up. Down into the sun. I had to switch up, nigga. No, I ain't mad at you. I just had to come up and look at just what that bag do. I charged into the game cause I said I won't complain. Ain't been no sunny days, I had to get it out the rain. Look, back plugged in again. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get right into the tier list. So if you guys are new to my tier list, D tier is always going to be the characters generally without Frenzy and Flurry, unless there are some special examples, but none of these characters have Frenzy or Flurry in D tier right here. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with the best character in D tier is the Mind White Zangetsu. He does have Soul Reaper Killer, a normal attack damage link, 40 Berserker, 50 Bruiser, and he does have weakening on everything he does. Now, really the best part about this character's kit is his second strong attack is a surrounding vortex, and it does have weakening. So he doesn't have poise or DR or any resistances or anything like that. Just on kit alone, his kit actually is perfect. The sad thing is now characters are getting these types of bruisers and berserkers with Frenzy or Flurry on top of them. So hopefully when he gets resurrected, hopefully he'll get Flurry. That would be really good. But I wouldn't mind him as a Frenzy character as well. But we're not going to spend too much time on this particular role. But the next character, Shinsui, he does have 20% normal attack damage as well. He also does have poise and the same type of magnifications as the White Zangetsu. So no Frenzy, no Flurry. He does have poise and paralysis resistance, but his kit doesn't allow him to auto as well as White Zangetsu, even though his stats and skills are slightly better. We're going to go ahead with the tag team Shuhei, and he does have double killers, but however, that's really not enough to put him over the other characters, being the fact that he is a ranged character. They're way more range guard than melee guard. So at the end of the day, all he's going to be running into is clank, 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 and AI, when you're autoing, AI has they don't break guard, okay? So yeah, moving on to the Mind Fullbring Ichigo. This character, the good thing about him, his normal attack, he does have a double magnification or triple magnification on his last hit, but still that's not enough to save him. No Frenzy, no Flurry. He does have a decent killer being a Rankar and a normal attack damage link. Other than that, nothing special about this character. Yuhabak, paralysis on everything before he transforms, weakening after he transforms, and his strong attacks do get refilled. He does have some of the worst strong attacks in the game though. Basically range collision everywhere, and his third isn't even full screen, so yeah. And then this Kusaka came out. Also, Yuhabak has a Captain Killer, which is really bad, which makes him worse than all the other characters other than Kusaka head ass, who is melee and Yuhabak is ranged, but he manages to be worse just because he's so garbage. Like, I don't even know what he was doing. No Frenzy, no Flurry. He has a Captain Killer. Like, his soul bomb isn't even full screen. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It was supposed to be a red 2 counter and it never even worked. Moving on to C tier, we're going to go to the swimsuit Kukakushiba. She does have a lunging first strong attack, and her second is like a pseudo vortex. Hits in a few different phases. Actually, no, it is a vortex, 20 hit vortex. Her third is not full screen. It's 900 radius, to be sure. Strong attack damage with the Rankar Killer. this Neliel, this Chair-sama, as well as this White Zangetsu, as well. All these characters from Nell to Momo all have a range collision first, some sort of a vortex second strong attack, and then different variations of third. So Neliel does have a wrong card killer. She also has weakened defense on top of burn, which makes her better. But range collision first, vortex second, full screen third. This Aizen, he does have a recharge just like the Neliel, but he does have a built-in last ditch as well as a 10-star barrier, which I will say, if you only charge his third for 3 seconds, it's actually a very, very nice distant AoE charge attack. But when you do it for the full incantation, it's just a full 1000 radius around you, which actually it's not better. So really only charge this guy up to, you know, level 1 charge attack, which is 3 seconds. Let that thing go. You got back range, side range, and all types of forward range. Pretty solid third strong attack. Just don't charge it past 3 seconds, okay? Then we have the Cacao Society White Ichigo, who he does have, once again, range collision first, vortex second. Although it is a range collision melee collision split, it still is kind of a vortex, you know what I mean? But yeah, and then his third is just standard charge attack. Not as good as a full screen like Nell, or not as good as a distant full screen like Aizen, but he does have weakening, but his kit overall is not as good, okay? And this Isane, or this Nanao, she does have range collision first, but her and Momo share the fact that her second is a melee oriented move, being a heal, so they do not break guard with the second strong attack. So that puts them in a really, really bad spot. At the end of the day, they both kind of suffer from the same thing. They both do have solid PvE killers, but range collision and not being able to break guard with the second strong attack makes them very underwhelming characters as a whole. This Bangkai Kenpachi, solid kit, lunge first and second, and then his third is a full screen. He does have resetting strong attacks after he transforms, but he does not have an additional flash step, which makes him one of the worst characters to ever come out that actually has frenzy in a long time. So it's unfortunate, you know, if he gets resurrected with the SAR link and they actually give him Sprinter, then I think that'll make up for him. I think they should give him Sprinter +2 just because how bad he got hold all these years, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Xyloporo, a Parasol character. Very, very weird kit. Strong attack damage, a wrong card killer. His first is very similar to TT Renji, and his second, range collision, as well as his third, is a really weird attack. It's full screen, but like the hit detection is really weird. I don't know, man, but he is not a good character to play. Very clunky. Even it's hard to be worse than Banken, okay? But yeah. So it's crazy, right? You guys just see B10 and you're like, bro, how is Aura so bad? Bro, Aura is so bad. And Aura is a perfect example of just because you have the perfect stats and skills, your kit is everything. She has a range collision first, and the distance is like 300 length in front, dog. It's like horrible range. She doesn't get no type of bonus damage from it, really. It's inconsistent, horribly inconsistent. Then her second is just a standard vortex. So yes, her third is 1200 radius. She does have weakening with guard break, bruiser, berserker, all that good stuff. This Tsukishima still clears faster than her. Okay. And he has a lunging first. His second is really weird. He has like 10% havoc, so he has like really weird magnifications for his AoEs, but his second is 610 AoE distant, and it's going to kill. As soon as it touches anything, it's going to kill, bro. It's not like Aura. And his first is actually a lunge, which has, you know, a little bit more radius than your standard lunge without any sort of havoc. So yeah, and then this Yoruichi is better than him. And this Tsukishima has confusion on everything. Like, how you lose to somebody with confusion on everything, you got weakening. It's because your kit is horrible, okay? You don't believe me? Go test it for yourself. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to this Christmas Yoruichi. I know it's out of order, but it's okay. Christmas Yoruichi, range collision first, which, I mean, it is horrendous. Horrendous range collision first. The good thing about it is at least it has like 1500 radius. It's actually a solid distance in front. And if you can proc the freeze, it'll clump up a crazy amount of damage for one single target enemy. but most of this game is clearing out mobs. So at the end of the day, range collision is not the best. However, her second strong attack is a lunge with 630 AoE, and her third is a standard full screen with 4 flash steps and sword per killer. Very solid character, no berserker. Moving on to the swimsuit Halabell. This character is very solid. She has a beam first strong attack, so 725 beam. Then her second is a lunge. And then she does have a charge attack, standard circle or fan charge attack around her. So she does have to get into the midst of danger to get the maximum impact. All in all, double damage if you charge it for 3 seconds. Very solid kid, man. Her first strong attack really does own ass. It really does. Back in, in the before 4 time when nobody really had a beam first strong attack, she shredded content. Like, she shredded content. And she still does to this day, especially with some transcendence. A round card killer as well. And on top of that, man, she is a very solid character. This Tsuruchi, she's a newer character. You're like, she got the Bruiser Berserker. She has Lacerate, 40% damage to lacerated enemies. But her first strong attack is range collision. So she does have all the goodies, you know what I'm saying? But her first is range collision. Her second strong attack is 800 radius distant AoE. So like the best second strong attack in the game without Havoc. Then her third is like the distant. It's like the 2-hit. It's similar to 5th anniversary Byakuya or Kokuto or Spirit Society Rukia. It's very similar to that strong attack where she puts a full screen radius in front of her and then it explodes and brings them in like a 635 radius or something like that. Sorry per killer, but mine sorry per killer is one of the most crowded niches in the game. So at the end of the day, man, she's not a very needy character. Pretty much the exact same kit as this Ruruka. Exact same kit, really. Range collision first, and her second is 800 radius. So just like Tsuruchi, same shit. Okay, full screen third. She has solid magnifications as well. Bruiser Berserker, she has an enhanced chance to freeze enemies. Her first strong attack is similar to like Aura, where it's like that 300 length in front. Hers is similar to like the 1000 blower Uryu, where that shit just chim, like knocks your ass back, boy, like a bouncer at a club, boy. You had a fake ID. Get your ass out of here, little homie. But yeah, so you guys might be wondering, like, okay, well, like, how did 2 characters with range collision first get ahead of this Yushiro? Well, this Yushiro doesn't have any berserker, and he does have a lunging first strong attack, but his second is range collision. So, and it's much worse AoE than their second strong attack. Both these two have the best second strong attack, while he does have a lunge. Then his third isn't even full screen. So definitely got to give it to these 2 ladies in that category. Although with Yushiro, if you just absolutely abuse his first, maybe he could clear faster, but with the difference that their second strong attack makes up, whenever it comes back, they're going to nerf at least 2 waves down to the ground. So there you go. And he is a 14 recharge. Very solid character too, though. Like I said, the only person really to have his second strong attack is like 1000 blower Shinsui, the mine least. And this Rukia, even though she's been resurrected, she's not as high as I would have wanted her to go. I was really hoping that she got full stamina damage as well as SAR for her resurrection trait, but she got stamina recovery, which isn't bad. All in all, she does have a solid kit, but she has a barrier move second strong attack with no way to enhance her cooldown. So 24-second maximum cooldown on that second strong attack. Although she has full stamina damage, her soul bomb is going to hit a lot harder, but not having recharge will really hurt her. Soul Reaper killer, lunge first strong attack, standard barrier second strong attack move, and then full screen third. Very good animations though. Gonna move on to the Cacao Society Soy Phone, and at the end of the day, man, she does have a range collision first, but it's very solid. At least it eclipses most of the screen that you can see and damages pretty consistently. Her second is a range collision melee collision split. She has 4 flash steps, very fast. She's gonna clear content if you need her to. All in all, she's still not one of the better options, one of the lower A tier characters, but at the end of the day, man, for how content used to be, she was very solid. This Ikaku, the main thing wrong with him is his second strong attack. It really lacks AoE. It locks you in place. and he doesn't have any sort of extra damage, no status element, no berserker. So, you know, when you get in something like that, he does have a range. I mean, he does have a lunging first and a full screen third, but those are his main redeeming qualities. His second strong attack really does hold him back, as well as him having a recharge link, which puts him right at the back of the pack for a tier. Segundo Toppo Kiyora, I truly feel like for the characters with range collision, strong attack 1, and a vortex second strong attack, he is the best out of them all. He does actually have Havoc, and he does have a distant AoE charge attack. So he basically makes his Spirit Bomb and just drops that shit on top of you, bro. It's one of the best charge attack animations that the game has ever come out with. I feel like if they ever make a character like Goku, he would have a strong attack 3 animation just like this, like a Spirit Bomb. I just think it would make perfect sense. His first strong attack does push enemies back quite far, and his second is a vortex. He does have Havoc though, so that does make him better than a lot of the characters with range collision first and vortex second strong attack. All in all, him having Havoc and a charge attack third strong attack actually helps his kit, as he can put the enemies in the vortex and charge his third and rip down 3 waves in front of you if you plan it properly. The Tensa Zangetsu, range collision first, vortex second, and then his third is just a standard full screen. 14 recharge, he's like the more up-to-date version of a lot of these characters. Lacerate instead of some of the other status elements. All in all, 14 recharge and sword per killer. Essentially how his first strong attack does the damage. It's a little bit better, and the projectile goes a little bit further than most of the other range collision characters. He is a little bit above them. 14 recharge does help him and at least make him a solid link. Alright, so now we're in the auto/epic raid tier, and these characters are going to be the best characters for Guild Quest support characters. These are going to be some of the best ones that have on the sidelines. So that is autoing, and as well as epic raid bonuses. So starting off is the 1000 blower Izurukita. He does have weakening on everything. Very, very strong Bruiser Berserker combination. Very good character, man. If he got shafted just by not having guard break. If he would have had guard break, he would literally be one of the best characters in the game. Like, guard break for a flurry character can truly make you that much better. Because if you're ranged, there are more enemies that guard against you. So even though you're doing crazy insane amounts of single target damage, they're guarding you and they're only taking 10% of your total output. Unless you use strong attacks to break the guard, and with that you're slowing yourself down because you're not going to run recharge time. So if you run to multiple enemies that have ranged guard, you're going to be slowed down, and most enemies do have ranged guard. Okay, moving on to next, we're going to go to Amigai, and this is essentially the newer updated version of the Tech Yamamoto. Burn on everything, Captain Killer, and very, very similar things as well as that. He is going to be a really good character on the sidelines for like epic raids or for guild quest. All in all, Flurry with Bruiser separates him from a lot of the characters, as well as being melee. So even without Killer, he's still going to be able to auto most content. Hideyohiki Fune, she had the same exact problem that Izurukita has. She just does not have guard break. And there's so many Soul Reapers with range guard, it's not even funny. So, you know, her clear time is literally being held back massively. And even though she outputs so much single target damage, it's still going to take you about 2 minutes to auto something, when nowadays you can auto stuff with a melee character with guard break in about 50 seconds or less. So, you know, why would you want to spend twice the time autoing just because a character does high damage? It doesn't make sense if the enemies are blocking most of your damage, even though your output's high. So range collision first, and she does have a heal boost second strong attack, and she does have a distant AoE third strong attack, which I do favor. Can't fare on word Noitora. He's a very solid character, boost barrier character, beam first strong attack with a full screen third, Captain Killer with a start barrier. Very good character with paralysis on everything. He's going to be able to pretty much auto damn near any content. He's just very tanky. He's going to paralyze anything, and when you paralyze enemies, you actually don't need to break their guard. So that's actually something worth noting, just for you guys that didn't know that. Vassal Lord Ichigo, he does have a last ditch survival link, which is very, very solid. He does get damage reduction to captains, which is very, very niche. All in all, he's a very solid NAD character. If he had something like Hollow Killer, I feel like he'd be a lot better. Like a PvE killer, and he would be top of this list, maybe after Kita. Aside from that, Captain Killer is very weak for PvE content, but he does have a very good kit. Double Lunge helps him clear stuff a lot faster. So if they ever do so happen to make a guard break item, he will probably be a top tier character. The Human Sajin, one of the best flurry characters of the old days. Now he's just very, very squishy, no poise or no type of damage reduction. So he does have a high defense, but no damage reduction. Okay, so all in all, he does have an Espada Killer. So for a Espada Killer guild quest, he will be one of the best characters to have on the side. He's going to actually cleave, shred, and do massive, massive amounts of damage. Other than that, he's not even very good as well used as a PvP character, but this isn't a PvP list. Now we are in the nitty gritty. We're in the S tier, okay? So these are some of the best characters in the game. And Mind is a very stacked attribute, as you guys will see very soon. We're going to start off with the Orient Society Nelio 2. Very great character, double lunge kit, weakening on everything, 20 bruiser berserker. All in all, very solid character. And she does have a status resistance to burn, and she does have an additional chance to proc that weakening as long as she does have killer and attribute advantage. So very, very solid character. And yeah, man, any character that has weakening with devastation, their soul bomb is going to hit very, very, very hard. Third strong attack is similar to 5th anniversary Byakuya. It's that full screen in front and then combust and detonate in the middle. So yep, very similar kit to hers is the Zombie Toshiro. I would definitely say that his third is better because there's no hitch in the damage. It's all just straight up consistent damage. If you wanted, you could rip 3 waves of enemies right off the map with his third strong attack, unlike Nelliel's or like 5th anniversary Byakuya. So he does have a double lunge kit. He has weakening on his second strong attack, freeze on everything else, okay? He does have poise, and I think she really got the edge on him because he has poise, which doesn't really help much in PvE. It does kind of, but when you use strong attacks, you already have immunity frames anyway. You can't take damage, and you cannot be interrupted. So poise doesn't really help strong attack recharge characters autoing as much as you would think. So instead, you know, she got the burn resistance, and you know, she does have weakening on her soul bomb. It's going to make that hit a lot better. His only advantage really is his third strong attack, you know, and he does have a slight advantage in that department. However, she has weakening on everything, so she does pretty much get the nod as it comes, okay? So then you have 2 characters that have guard break, and it's like, yo, it kind of gets, I can understand, it's like, wait, hold on, how are we ranking characters here? Because you got this red suit, she does have guard break, havoc, 960-second strong attack, which is the best standard second strong attack in the game, and a full screen 1200 radius third. However, where this red suit gets really, really held back is the fact that she has one of the worst first strong attacks in the game. I'm gonna call it how it is, and it is. It's like this triple split up attack, but you know, other than that, she has a perfect kit. You know, she has the best second strong attack in this entire row. She does not have to break enemies' guard. So for the most part, she's going to be using normal attack when she's autoing, and then using that second strong attack on cooldown pretty much. So it's very, very solid character. The main reason she gets the nod over Edrod is the killer advantage. She's going to get extra damage with killer on top of havoc and guard break, which he does not have havoc. So moving on to Edrod, he does have basically the best kit in the game without havoc. So he has a beam first strong attack, 725 width and 2500 length, and 800 radius second strong attack, and a full screen third. The thing that slows him back is his killer, which is barely ever going to be used. So that's kind of the bad part about Edrod. I would, however, say he does have a guard break, so you pretty much can't look over that, you know. He's going to be solid at pretty much autoing content. It's not like he's missing Bruiser or Berserker. He does get additional damage to burned enemies as well, so that's going to help him make up some of the damage, even though it does rely on RNG. You might be thinking, okay, well, Xylo has Havoc, and you know, his first strong attack is better. You know, they have the same first strong attack, but Xylo has Havoc. Well, Xylo's second strong attack is really bad. I'm sorry. It's a vortex. It basically takes your damage and spreads it to like 16 different waves. You can't consistently kill stuff like that. So Xy will have to constantly use his first and second in conjunction to clear multiple waves. Okay, that's really the biggest deal with this. And then even going to the third, Xy only has an 80 more radius over Edrod, even though he has Havoc, because if Xy didn't have Havoc, his third would be 900 radius. So it's 1080 radius versus his is 1000. Xy does win the killer and the utility battle when it comes to just straight clearing content. Edrod's going to be better. You cannot discount that guard break and that extra bruiser berserker. Grimmy is a pretty sad case. His first strong attack really holds him back. He has all of the intangibles such as the pure all status immunity, and he basically has, you know, a god kit second and third strong attack. His first, however, is one of the worst bits of range collision in the game. You have to be really close to get the maximum damage output, and all in all, it's just horrible damage. He doesn't have guard breaks, so, you know, you're going to have to really suffer, and unless you have that second strong attack charged, you're going to be overly reliant on breaking guard or just stopping enemies and holding them in place with your normal attack before your second charges up again. So that really does hold him back. A character like Halabell, who shares a range collision first and guard break, she does not have Havoc. So, and she doesn't have the utility that Grimmy has. So I think as a character overall, I would give it to Grimmy, just because they both do have that range collision first strong attack. Okay, Halabell for clearing standard content is going to be a little bit better, but she's not going to survive as well just due to his amount of being resistant to all elements. Okay, so at the end of the day, man, great characters. This Shinji, he has one of the best kits in the game actually, but he does not have strong attack recharge. So it's possible that he gets a 10% strong attack recharge upon resurrection. He does have Havoc with a lunge first strong attack, which is 570 AoE. His second strong attack is 1080 width and 3000 length, which is absolutely bonkers ridiculous. They haven't given out this strong attack to any unit after this character, except for Tag Team Toshiro, who does not have Havoc. So he is the only character in the game with this strong attack plus Havoc. So he does have a very unique kit. 1200 radius third strong attack as well. Once he gets some resurrection in him, he's going to be a very great character, on top of having Hollow Killer. Depending on how you want to say it, bro, this Ginjo could like damn near be right here, to be honest. Once he gets to low stamina damage, he actually is going to have 150% Berserker on top of Soul Reaper Killer. So 170% Berserker at low stamina damage as long as he has Killer. So actually very great character. His second strong attack is actually 810 radius. So when you compare him to characters like Xyle and Edrod, he does have a better second strong attack just slightly, and at low stamina damage he has more damage. So really, in just straight clearing content, he's going to be right here. No, he doesn't have the utility that Xyle does, and no, he you do have to play a little bit more risky with him, but his kit is very good. He has a 960 AoE lunging third strong attack. So we all know 960 AoE is a monstrous strong attack. He's one of the only people that has that as a third strong attack with a lunge. So I'm perfectly fine with putting Kugo Ginjo right here, as he is an extremely powerful character. And he is actually not to be underestimated. Like, test this character out with low stamina damage. He does crazy damage. His first is this crazy ridiculous beam. His second is 810 radius. And his third is a 960 lunge. Very great character. He hits like a damn truck. Moving on to Mind Badagon. Very great character, man. He does have a lunging first strong attack with a beam second strong attack. And his third is similar to a 960 AoE, except it's like 1100 radius. So if he gets resurrected, he's going to have a unique third strong attack. And it might be God tier, okay? So he would have a lunging first with the with the 3000 length beam second strong attack, okay? So just beware with weakening on everything, man. This character is a resurrection away from being S plus tier character, alright? Mark my words. This Baragon is still a very, very great character. The Demon Society, Rangiku Matsumoto. Team first strong attack, and she pretty much has the same sort of kit as Spirit Society Byakuya minus her second strong attack. Her second strong attack is this really crazy melee collision, range collision split where it's like 1200 radius in front of the screen once it's at its final part. So very solid AoE. I mean, I can't even lie. So very solid kit, no affiliation killer, weakening on everything. Before a character like Noelle, she was without a doubt the best mine character with no affiliation killer. So keep that in mind, man. She has a very, very great kit, and she's only held back slightly by her second strong attack and her killer just a little bit, man. But in that no affiliation killer guild quest, she gonna go crazy. The Mine Isane. She actually is a very, very solid character. Beam first strong attack. She's essentially like the Heart Toshiro, except a bit better. She is Recharge Link, and her second is a barrier move. Full screen third, and she does have Bruiser Berserker. So very, very solid character. She just does not have Havoc. And her second strong attack does count as ranged, even though it's a barrier move. Her and Toshiro have that in common. I don't know why they don't do this more often. So all in all, man, she's a very, very solid character. All right, now we're in the final tier. We're looking at the SS tier. So ladies and gentlemen, all right, I know some of you guys might be really confused. Some of you guys are like, what? How in the world is Noelle over Daddy Ichigo? Oh my God. Like, there are a few reasons, guys, okay? And at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. At the end of the day, it is my opinion. I do consider myself pretty much an expert on this because I've been doing this for years. I've been testing these units. I can tell you in standard PvE content, Noelle clears faster, okay? Their kits are exactly the same, and I will tell you the main two differences. The difference is I will give it to Ichigo in the first strong attack by the most minute margin. Noelle has a very, very slight 1 to 2 frame delay before her first strong attack launches off. It is extremely small, so she still has the best first strong attack possible in the game, you know, the best variation. So it's just a very, very slight delay on that, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. However, where Ichigo loses the fight is that they both share the exact same second strong attack, 960 AoE standard. Ichigo can only use his every 20 seconds, and yes, it is a boost move, but standardly Noelle gets more damage than Ichigo in the first place. As well, Noelle's second killer opens doors for it to get bonus damage and other types of content. Whereas the Ichigo, his second killer doesn't really do that aside from Guild Quest. But Ichigo does have Guard Break, okay? So he has Marauder. She has 100% range resistance. Basically what that means is if Ichigo and Noelle hit the same enemy, but he has Guard, then Noelle's going to lose about 25% of her damage on that first strong attack. So as it stands, Noelle actually has higher standard magnifications than this Ichigo, okay? Hers being Frenzy plus 60 Berserker plus a 25% strong attack damage link. Whereas the Ichigo has Frenzy and 60 Berserker, but he has a boost. Your boost does play a factor in your strong attack damage formula, but not all the way. It doesn't directly boost your strong attack damage. It boosts your attack percentage by 33% and your focus by 33%, which both of those go into your strong attack damage calculation. So it's not like a straight 30% boost for his strong attacks, but when you compare everything, they're going to damn near hit exactly the same when you calculate guard break, take it in or out. It's going to be this, have a double sprinter. That's one thing he has on Noelle as well. And the last thing that he has on Noelle is the insta-kill potential on his soul bomb, which does rely on RNG. And I know you might be like, well, Ichigo has so many goodies that Noelle doesn't have. The main issue is that her killer is better and her second strong attack is available every 8 seconds versus every 20 seconds And this is massive. It's a 2.5 times difference in their available strong attack cooldown. Noelle can abuse her first and second. So that's really where the differences go between the two. All in all, they're both very, very top tier characters. In auto gameplay, Ichigo's going to clear faster. In manual gameplay, Noelle will clear faster. Okay, so that's just pretty much how it goes. Melee characters always auto faster anyways. So that's pretty much no news. That's just how the AI has always been programmed in this game. You got Soul Reaper Killer from both of them. Noelle with No Affiliation Killer, and Ichigo with Captain Killer as his second killer. So he is going to do more damage against captains while they both have killer, but Noelle's second killer literally opens up different weeks, different options for times that you can use her, and she is the best possible option. And they are both the best option for Mind Extreme Co-op. So in that light, they're both the best Mind characters that you can think of. Alright? Point blank period. Let's move on. Fierce Battle Kisuke. This guy completely usurped Candace as the Mind IZ Queen. I used to be able to just flex my max strengths into Candace all day long in Mind IZ. Now everybody wants Kisuke or nah. If I'm hosting, I could use Candace, but since Kisuke autos by itself, it's just better to just use 4 Kisukes, which means that, yeah, all in all, Kisuke does transcend being just an auto and epic raid character because he's a flurry character with guard break, on top of that a PvE killer. And he does have a shield mechanic which literally makes him able to solo, which literally makes him able to auto the hardest content in the game. Co-op, IZ co-op, extreme co-op. If you put 4 Kisukes, the combination of all the shields and all the damage, they're autoing it 100% clean, alright? That's not something that most characters can say that they can do at all. So this is one of the best characters in the game that K-Lab has ever offered, on top of being a poach and link unit, and on top of everything else he offers. Flurry with Berserker, with Bruiser, a Rancor killer, absolute crazy character, and one of the best that we have in the game. My baby girl, Candy Girl. One of the best type of characters that we have possible as far as her kit and her damage output. She has 3 flash steps on top of having basically demigod kit, which to me, demigod kit is classified as having a lunging first strong attack, a distant AoE second strong attack, and a full screen combination third strong attack. And she has 3 flash steps on top of weakened defense. Weakened defense is one of the most broken skills in the game. Okay, it magnifies your damage for everyone hitting the enemy for 7 seconds, and is not nerfed or nuked in something like Guild Quest or Epic Raids, which everything else is nuked aside from weakened defense. Alright, so very, very amazing character, process on everything with an absolutely god kit. Like in the current meta, this Koga is going to perform better than Mind Hikone. I've been testing these two for a long time, and I standardly have Hikone above Koga, but how Koga's kit works with his first being a beam, and his second being 960 AoE, and his third being a distant AoE 1170, all in all, man, every single strong attack that Koga has is better than Hikone. The only thing Hikone does have on him is Long Stride, which does help drastically. But it's not like the days of olden Guild Quest where, you know, how fast you can move on top of your kit was a combination of what made you great. Now, man, if you just put Max Transcendence on this Koga, his first is literally going to blitz 3 full waves of enemies. Unless you're in, you know, IZ Co-op. But standard PvE content, his first is going to rip 3 enemies off the face of the earth. His second going to rip 3 waves of enemies, and his third can rip 3 enemies. So at the end of the day, man, this Koga literally to me has the best possible kit in the game. 870 with beam by 3000 length and a 960 second strong attack with a distant AoE 1170 third. I think he has the best kit in the game without question. Now, he doesn't have the Berserker and the guard break or range resistance, but as far as raw kit, he is the best. Mind Koga is a absolute treat, even though he looked like a dried up raisin, bug lab. Moving on to the Mighty Conan, one of my personal favorite characters to ever come into the game. Long Strider, which was one of my favorite skills, still is to this day. Now there's just stuff that's a bit more important than that. But yeah, weakening on everything with the lunge first strong attack, 800 radius second strong attack, and a full screen third. Very, very great character with process immunity. Like I said, weakening on everything, man. This kid really has no weaknesses in this kid. I would make him better by giving him Havoc or Beam first strong attack. If he gets that, there is no character better than him. If he got like a Beam and like Havoc, but even if you give him Havoc, I think he would go up considerably. But nowadays characters have like range resistance, Marauder, stuff like that is a bit more important nowadays for overall usability. And our final character on the list for the day is the Mind Fierce Battle Ichigo, who I think is an absolute god tier character. He is held back a bit by not having Havoc, and you know, his first strong attack is a standard lunge, 475. His second is the 725 width and 2500 length beam, and his third is the 975 distant AoE third strong attack. Very similar to this Koga, except he does not have Havoc. So I think if this Ichigo had like a beam 800 radius second strong attack, he would be up a lot higher, to be perfectly honest with you. But you know, I just feel like his range and AoE lacks a bit, but he does get to refill his strong attacks, and he does have the hidden enemy skill on top of 40 Bruiser Berserker, 60 Devastation. Absolute Chad, very, very powerful character when it's all said and done. He's still one of the best mind characters in the game, even though Mind Sword Per Killer is very, very crowded at this point in time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. It took a lot, several days to prepare, so hopefully you guys show some support and share the love. Make sure you guys follow me, twitch.tv/dpirate24, as I'm streaming pretty much 4 times a week on Twitch, and I'll try to do more YouTube streams, but you guys know BBS has been pretty slow. Please, man, this is the time I need you guys' input. Let me know what kind of content you want to see that's not related to summons, as everything else, man, has been pretty slow. I'm going to try my best to get more videos out for you guys. And to kind of be right on that back to how I used to be with the BBS content. But let me know, man. Make sure you guys win. And if you're not in the Discord server, what is you doing? But yeah, Private Nation, I do love y'all. Discord link down below. I do love y'all. I'm out.